Well, greetings from Minneapolis, Minnesota, in a warm February winter day. We're at Trinity Lutheran Church, Minnehaha Falls. We are here to introduce our Road to Our Own Death Lenten Educational Series. I want to introduce Judy Green, who has been a hospice nurse in the past and has been our parish nurse for the last 20 years here at Trinity. I want to introduce Mark Johansson, who is a graduate from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. He's where he obtained his master's and PhD in clinical psychology. And I'm a family physician. I'm a geriatrician. I've been in practice for about 30 years. So my question of Judy and Mark is, what have been your experiences in your family situations in terms of death and dying? Judy, maybe we could start with you.
My dad died in 1990. At the time he went on dialysis, he told my mom, my brother, myself, his pastor, his friends, anyone that stood still long enough to listen to him, that if I ever have a stroke or a heart attack, please don't keep me on any machines. Well, 2 years after he went on dialysis, he had a stroke, a massive stroke. And I went to him in the hospital and asked him, I said, if you still want to go off dialysis, would you squeeze my hand? I almost didn't have any fingers left. And my brother, not knowing that I had asked him later that day the same question, and he responded the same way. The doctors said that he would live maybe 2 or 3 days, but he lived for 6 weeks. That was a huge gift for our family. Dad felt bad to have us caring for him, and we were able to let him know that for all these years he had been caring for us, and what a blessing it was for us to be able to give back just a little bit.
But I, leave you in introducing this Death in America series and in looking at this road to our own death. I leave some questions right out in front of us, and I think we would hope to answer these questions. Is it possible to prepare for our death with the same attentiveness that our moms and dad prepared for our birth? That's one question that Henry Nouwen asked, which I really loved. How can we prepare for death in such a way that our dying will glorify God as well as serve others who love us and who we love? What is the appropriate use of technology to prolong life? Judy's example of her dad's going off dialysis was a wonderful example of what the ambiguity of what happens at the end of life, deciding when to use technology, when not, developing a healthy skepticism about what can be used and what can't be used. There's a tremendous amount of uncertainty. There's a tremendous amount of ambiguity. There are often no right or wrong answers in some sense, but we're finding that generally speaking, technology is there and it doesn't have to be morally necessary to be used in any case, but it can be used. So this is one area that we'd really like to address. And then finally, what are the resources available to you to fully prepare and participate at the end of your own loved one's life? I think those are the questions that we hope to answer, amongst many others. Each one of us looks at this with a little different perspective. The nurse's set of eyeglasses are different than the physician's, different than the psychologist's. In fact, we all have glasses. That's
I think if we can help educate each other, we can deal with this in a much more appropriate way. If we learn what the outcomes can be depending on the choices that we make.
We're not going to, with all the information and knowledge, and our intent here is not to explain away death. There's this great unknown, there's mystery involved, but I think we can help as we discuss some of the answers to these questions to kind of help in the journey through that. When people die, I think the church is kind of let go of the support in a way that they shouldn't have. And I think it's left many people really without resources to go through this. So, and my hope is through this little series that we can kind of encourage fellowships in churches, but also kind of give back some of that support and knowledge base.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward very much to being with you guys and pursuing these questions more thoroughly. Thank you.